Okay, ladies and gentlemen, um, let's go over what we're doing with graphing, okay? Because I know with the piecewise functions, especially when it's things like this. So x plus 1, okay, when negative 2 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 5. So in order to figure out where those 2 points are, sorry, let me make this an f of x. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug them in. So for the first one, in place of x, I'm going to put in the negative 2. So it becomes f of negative 2 equals negative 2 plus 1. So that gives us negative 1. So that means at the point negative 2, our y is going to be negative 1. And since it's a less than, not a less than or equal to, I'm going to put a 0, or I'm sorry, an open circle. Negative 2, negative 1, and we're going to put an open circle, okay? Now the next one I'm going to use is 5. So it's going to be f of 5 equals, instead of x, we're putting in 5, so it becomes 5 plus 1. So that's 6. And so our coordinate point would be 5 is our x, 6 is our y. And because it's a less than or equal to, I am going to put it as a closed dot. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to put a closed dot, and then let's connect them. I'm going to connect the dots. There we go. So that means between negative 2 and 5, these are all part of x plus 1. So notice how it even goes through 1 as up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. So these are all the points that are going to go through it. Okay, so if we are using the same thing, and we also have, so I'm going to erase this, okay? Actually, I wonder if I can, we're going to try moving it. Let's try moving this over. Ooh, yay, that works. Okay, so now I'm going to do the other piece of this. So it's going to be f of x equals 2x minus 1 when x is greater than 5. Okay, so one of the ways I can start this, and this might be easier for some of you, this might be harder. So if I input 5 as where I'm starting, it's going to be f of 5 equals 2 times 5 minus 1. So we have 10 minus 1, which is 9. So our starting point is going to be 5, 9. And it's going to be an open dot because it's a greater than. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 4, 5, and then goes to 6, 7, 8, 9. So I want this to be an open dot. If I had more graph, we'd be able to do this, but I want you to notice that our slope right here is a positive 2. So I'm just going to go from this point that we found using what our starting point is, and we're going to go to the right because those are all greater than 5, and I would continue going up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, etc. So our graph would go like that. If I could draw a straight line, as you guys know, I have trouble with that, but that's what that would look like. Okay, I want to go through some more examples though. So let me just scroll down. And I am so sorry for everyone who signed up for my live broadcast. Thank you. Guys, I think you're going to have to help me tomorrow because it didn't quite work out. I thought I knew, and it didn't quite work. So please help. Okay, so let's say we have our piecewise function, f of x. And then we're going to say it's 2x plus 3 when x is greater than or equal to 2. And then we'll also have one where it's x minus 4 when x is less than 2. Okay, so one of the ways we're going to deal with this, just because I want my starting point. So in order to find my starting point, I'm going to take my x value and plug it in for my equation. So let me start with this. and this equation. So this means f of 2 equals 2x plus 3, but we're taking out the x and putting in the 2. So it's going to be 2 times 2 plus 3, 4 plus 3, so that's 7. So our starting point for that one would be 2 on the x, 7 on the y. And it's going to be a closed dot. So I'm going to go over to 2, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to put a closed dot right there. Okay? And then I'm going to use the slope. And I want to use this. And it's anything greater than. So notice how it's greater than, so I'm headed this direction. So I'm going to go up to right 1, and I would keep going if I had more graph. And then what it's going to look like is it's just going to go this way. Okay? The second part, however, I'll do that in blue. We're going to find our starting point by using this 2. So it's going to be f of 2. Let me actually thin that down for us just a little bit. Equals x minus 4. So in place of x, we're going to put in that 2. So 2 minus 4, which gives us a negative 2. So that starting point is going to be at 2 and negative 2. So let's see, 1, 2, negative 2. This is my starting point. And I need to check on my slope here, which happens to be 1, but it's everything less than. So I'm not going to go up 1, right 1, because if I went to this point or if I went to this point, all of these inputs are greater than 2. We don't want that. So remember, when we graph, instead of going up 2, right 2, we can also go, up 1, right 1. We can also go down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1. And it's just an extension of our line. So we're just going to go like so. And then this would be our other piecewise function. And remember, we're going to use the same principle for finding those middle terms. I know this is a really quick part 2. We'll get into the rest of it tomorrow. I will be posting a video about what happens when we evaluate at certain points. Okay, it's really not bad, but I want to make these short. If you have questions, please post them, and hopefully YouTube will get them back to me. Otherwise, have a very good evening.